Hello again. This is Larry Hayden. Welcome to the Larry Hayden Podcast. This is episode 13, and the topic is transgenderism. Like all my episodes, it is short and to the point. Please listen to the end when I'll give you resources to learn more. My purpose in doing these podcasts is to take lessons I have learned over my long 80-year life and use these life lessons to help others. The theme of my podcast is Hot Topics from a Christian Perspective. And certainly transgenderism is a hot topic and a topic I will discuss strictly from a Christian perspective. In the first book of the Bible, Genesis, we find the creation of man. It occurred on the last day of creation, the sixth day. God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness." Genesis 1:26. Thus he finished his work with a personal touch. God formed Adam from the dust and gave him life by sharing his own breath. Genesis 2:7. Accordingly, humanity is unique among all God's creations, having both a material body and an immaterial spirit. The narrative adds that he also created man as male and female. This makes evident the subtle nuance that humanity, called man, Adam, was much more than an individual human named Adam. While the creation account in Genesis 1 tells us God created man, the specifics of how he distinguished male and female are found in the next chapter, Genesis 2:7, which recounts the creation of Adam. God formed him from the dust of the earth, gave him the breath of life, and Adam became a living being. After God created Adam, he stated that it wasn't good for Adam to be alone. God had designed humanity to be male and female, and the job wasn't yet finished. So he showed Adam how other creatures had their opposite gender counterparts, Genesis 2, verses 19 and 20, and how none of those were suitable for Adam. Once the need was demonstrated, God put Adam to sleep, removed one of Adam's ribs, Genesis 2:21, and from that rib fashioned Adam's female counterpart, Genesis 2:22. When God brought her to Adam, Adam acknowledged that she was of the same nature, recognizing her equality and yet distinctness. That equality and distinctness are acknowledged throughout the Bible. For example, Peter would later refer to women as fellow heirs of grace. The creation account of Genesis provides a background and basis for gender distinction, sexuality, and even marriage. See Genesis 2:24. This is particularly timely in an age when there is a great deal of gender confusion and in which gender identity is regularly viewed by many to be optional. God created humanity with two complementary counterparts, male and female, and that creative work provides the basis for human relations. Important note, the further away from the designer a society gets, the further away the culture seeks to move from the design. Many today are struggling to understand who they are and who they are designed to be. For those who are wrestling with uncertainty, we can be encouraged knowing that our Creator has designed us and cares for us even when we lose our way. We're better to look for our definition and our design than the one who defined and designed us. Paul reminds us that we are designed to be his workmanship, born anew in Jesus and made so that we can fulfill his design for our lives. Ephesians 2:10. Now that we can see the careful and detailed work and purpose utilized by God to create male and female, my thought is that God is certainly not happy with any human trying to interfere with this cherished design of male and female. In fact, it's madness to think otherwise. And it's madness to think that young children should be subjected to trans surgery of any kind. And it's madness to have men competing with women in sports events. Common sense tells me that no number of operations or attempts by man will ever be successful in changing the sex of a human being. But I do know that God is a God of miracles, and he can, if asked, perform a miracle of understanding to those struggling with their sexual identity. Now, here are the resources I mentioned to learn more about God and the Bible. I recommend 3 reliable online websites. First, go to gotquestions.org. That's G-O-T, no space, questions.org. You can enter your question and find reliable answers to over 700,000 Bible questions. This site is impressively extensive and it reflects the conventional conservative Protestant viewpoint. Next, go to alwaysbeready.com. That's alwaysbeready, no spaces.com, by Bible scholar Charlie Campbell. And finally, visit my podcast, LarryHaydenPodcast.com. And this concludes the podcast. Thank you for listening, and I wish you peace always.